bore by Jesus, because the cross did not bear Jesus. Jesus had to carry it. Even when he fell down beneath the weight of it, and Simon the tanner had to come along and get it. I got my theory on that, and I'll let you know in a couple of seconds, right? But the cross, right, was carried by Jesus, right, and not the other way around. You must look at the cross from behind to understand that, and see all the wounds that he had again. Look at it again, right? At the cross, see it from behind, right? And it makes sense, because when Jesus goes forward, for the joy set before me, I endure the cross. When Jesus goes forward, he's not going to go back to go forward. He's going to go forward to go forward. You get it, right? So you need to be behind him to understand what he already did for you. As he passed by you on the streets, he already did it for you, because he loved you, because he gave his life for you. He did it for you. Somebody that walks ahead of you, just like when the way, the truth, and light, you know, somebody walks ahead of you, they've already done something for you. They've already covered you. They've already loved you. It's already been done. The cross has been done. So you see him from the front means it's sort of like a confrontational position, but the right visual is from the back. Because the cross didn't carry the sin. Jesus carried the sins and the cross to Calvary. He made the decision between shame and blame, left blame behind him, and took shame on ahead with him. And he crucified, had it crucified with him. He decided to go to the cross with him. So since he already did it, we don't need to do anything about it. So we just follow in his example. Picking up our cross daily, not picking up a cross and dragging it across the country. You are not to pick up a cross and carry a cross across the country. That's not, no. That's a sign of the Antichrist. Because that's what the Antichrist will do to try to disprove the theory of Jesus dying on the cross. He'll try to take what Jesus is claiming during the rapture as to having done, the Christians claim to have done, right? He'll try to take that and take claim for it. And what God is saying is, no, you taking the cross across country, right? That's vomit. He did not tell you to do it. There's nothing behind it. There's nothing. It's a garbage. It's a trash. When you do it, you look like an Antichrist. So with Jesus, and then get behind him. We need to get behind him. I want to get behind my pastors, and then be behind them. What does it mean when I say I want to get behind my pastors? I want to be on their team. Get behind him. Get behind my pastors and work with them. If I'm behind my 5 pastors, I'm working with them. So as they do things, I'm working in line with them, right? And I come in line with them and do what they tell me to do. The same thing with Jesus. I can't face Jesus and do what he tells me to do. Because when it comes down to it, when you're facing somebody, a face-off, all right, who is the King of Kings? Him or you? I asked myself this morning, who's the shepherd, me or him? I had to do what he told me to do. Was it easy? No. Did I like it? No, but I like him. So it's worth it. I love him. So it's worth it. I will put myself on the line for my pastors every day if I have to. I love all of them. One, I love my family. To be honest with you, because they are my family now. Do you love Jesus that way? Will you do what Jesus tells you to do? I said it before, I have a theory. Woo! Stay some laws. I have a theory. Peter's outside roasting his fingers, right? Roasting his fingers. We talked about it. And when Jesus looked up at Peter realized Jesus was looking at him and ran. I'm telling you, I'm sitting in a chair and I'm sitting right next to my pastor, and I said something to him. And it wasn't like I said something bad. I was saying something, but I was actually in the middle of the sentence. So I said something to him, and he looked at me, and I was about to fall out the chair. I literally thought I was going to die, drop there, right there. Him just, it's that when you look up to somebody, Peter looked up to Jesus. When you look up to somebody, they look at you like that. It's almost like he could have been looking at me and said, okay, finish your sentence. But it was, but for me, he looked at me. He was like, oh my Lord. And he's going to keep going. It's just, oh my Lord. I started ebbing on my own. I was ebbing in my mind. I started to lose my mind. And I had clear conscious thoughts, right? That I expressed on here yesterday. I know exactly what I was thinking. I said he's small. When I see him up on the platform, I didn't tell him this. When I see him on the platform, he looks giant, but he's small actually. He's small. He's not tiny. There's nothing small or tiny about him like that. He is small though. In that he don't make a lot of noise and don't have to make a lot of noise. Pastor Tim and I have a different type of personality. I relate to Pastor Tim because we both said the same thing. We're both loud by nature. LBN, loud by nature, right? We have a loud personality. Just bam! You come in the room, it's just like bah! And then you come in the room and your walk have a sound to it. Ah! That's how I sound when I take a footstep. Ah! You know, it's just big. Why Jamie, you so loud? Like, for real? You can be graceful, you can be gentle. I think that's why I'm still by myself. Cause come on, don't nobody want nobody that sound like ah when they walk in the room. I'm an artist, that's what I see. I see myself making the sound of ah when I walk in the room. But it's not like that, right? He's gentle, and so everywhere he goes, he has a quiet spirit. It's not a small spirit, but it's a quiet and gentle spirit. But you get on his bad side, it's like ah. Cause me, I carry ah when I walk in the room, but get on my bad side, I'm really like a quiet spirit. I walk away from you, and I become an introvert. I won't say nothing. So many things that have been done wrong to me, and I still sit and you would never know. Cause that's not who I am. When I thought about it, I said, I want that. I want to be able to say what I need to say. I could not stop stuttering Sunday. I was like, oh my Lord, what is wrong with me? I'm not stupid. Like Henry Danger, I'm not dumb. He said, here we go. When he said, don't be, he's like, Henry asked Ray a question. He said, do they know you're Captain Man? And Ray said, no, don't be dumb. And Henry said, he looked at the skeleton on the wall and he said, I'm not dumb. Proving that he's dumb. Because he talked to a skeleton. But I'm not dumb. Am I? I had to check. But no, I'm not dumb. I'm still unsure. I'm still unsure. But I want that one quiet spirit. I want to be a quiet person. And no matter where I go, I fill every atmosphere I go into with sound. My hair is loud. Is it LBN or LBH? Loud by hair. My hair is loud. Peter always reminds me of Pastor Tim. Pastor Tim is a Peter. And then I was talking to Pastor David. I said, I'm a Peter too, but Pastor David doesn't know this. And I was talking to Pastor David on Sunday. He said, yeah, you're in good company because Peter was like that too. He make a whole bunch of mistakes, you know. And Pastor David said this to me before. He said, Jamie, you're like me. He said, you make a mistake and then you realize you're about to make a mistake. You make a mistake, you're in the mistake, you're still in the mistake, and then you realize you made a mistake. Oops. Which view of the cross do you think Peter had? The odd thing about it, God is saying to me right now, is that it says, if I be lifted up, I will draw all men unto me. Peter never got to see. James never got to see. John saw it, but Andrew never got to see, right? These disciples, the 11 disciples never got to see him be lifted up and draw all men unto him without touching a man with his hand. See, they never got to see it, right? Never got to see him be lifted up, right? Lift him up. Help me lift Jesus, lift him up. Help me lift Jesus. You know how he was lifted up? Because people talked about him. If I be lifted up, Jesus said, if I be lifted up, if I be lifted up, if I be lifted up, up, I'll draw all men unto me. Yeah. They drew him. He drew all men unto him by people talking about him. When you get scared and you're too scared to pray out loud, or when you get scared, you're still too scared to talk to him, people about Jesus, right? I share Jesus Christ every chance I get. Especially on paratransit bus. I practice on them. Patrick and all them, oh yeah, they know me by name. We know each other, but Terry, yes, talk about Jesus all the time. Absolutely. None of them ain't saved. So that's good ground. Talk about Jesus. We up at 7 o'clock, I'm going to the Y. You want to talk to Jesus with me. Talk about Jesus with me. So about Jesus Christ, that's what I'm talking about. When we're afraid to talk about him, then we stop him from being lifted up. He says, I'll be lifted up, I will draw all men unto me. But drawing happens in the crowds, happens when the people getting together and knowing him. He draws people unto himself because we talk to other people about him. It's a horizontal thing, and then it becomes a vertical thing. If you would help Jesus be lifted up, talk to people about Jesus. Lift him up in your own mouth. Lift him up in your own sayings. Lift him up mainly in your doings. Because when people see Jesus in your doings, right, they will accept that you know Jesus Christ. And they'll start to, either way, they will know. When they see miracles happen through you, they will start to believe, right? They will believe. They won't be able to not believe. Most people, when they say, I don't believe in that, they are the ones that believe the strongest. Why? Because they are mad. When I say I don't believe that, if I don't believe something, like I don't believe Casper the Friendly Ghost exists, I'm not gonna bring that up in conversation. I don't believe Casper the Friendly Ghost exists. No, you have people that brought up, like in the president and the vice president, and saying on TV. You have those people that bring up conversations about Christians, about not believing, about Jesus Christ. That shows that they believe in Jesus Christ. Because if I don't believe something, I don't bring it up. I don't believe I'm gonna eat a kumquat, so I'm not gonna talk about kumquats because ain't no kumquats in my refrigerator. So I'm gonna talk about no kumquats. I'm not gonna get on here like kumquats are evil and everybody eats a kumquat starts COVID and everybody eats a kumquat eat cheese and then no, why? The mouth is a powerful thing. I don't fight against a kumquat with my mouth like people fight against Christians. I don't have to. Christianity movement is a movement that moves. So therefore it doesn't need to call itself a movement because it's moving. It's constantly in motion, right? So since we're moving, we have to be able to say, oh, we're part of the Christianity movement. There's no movement of Christianity because we're constantly moving. So it's understood. And the back end, on the back side of it, the backstory, remember? It's understood on the backstory that we are already a movement. We have to say we're a movement. If you're somebody saying that they're a movement, they're not a movement because they're not moving. So I have to tell you that they're a movement, so you'll start to say that they're a movement, so you'll share them as a movement and talk about them as a movement with other people so that they will gather, you will gather people, you don't realize you'll gather a following for those people, right? Because you'll start talking about them and you will lift them up and they will become a movement because you'll start moving them. But anything I don't talk to or anything I don't talk about does not have movement in my house. Peter had movement. Peter had an entourage. If you look at the account of the woman with the issue of blood, if you look at the account of the woman with the issue of blood, Matthew tells an account of Peter having an entourage with him. Peter had a following, and Jesus didn't argue about Peter's following. Because I feel like Jesus was more centered like me. Like I'm focused on my art, right? I got a couple of months to get this ready for the Chamber of Commerce. And I still gotta get a picture of Pastor David to put on here. I'm worried because I seen a picture of him with his daughter, but I can't put a picture of him with his daughter on here. The picture with his daughter looked really awesome. He looked great in it. But I can't put a picture of him with his daughter on there because I would have to cut the daughter out and then I would cry. So I'm thinking about putting him with his whole family up there. Because I don't want to cut nobody out of the picture. And then I can also put him in the picture I did of him and his wife. See, these are the things I'm thinking about all day long. I gotta get more civil rights pictures to put on this board. It's a 3-foot by 4-foot board that I'm doing with African American pictures, slavery pictures on there. I got my pastors up there. I mean, and they each are set next to a picture of me because they're set next to the picture of me that shows the growth and the growth point where I was at. So even if I put Pastor David on there, I have to decide which picture of me I'm going to put up there next to him because every pastor is next to a picture of growth, including Miss Carol, she's not a pastor, and Harmony, she's not a pastor. But these are things I'm thinking about. People that don't have things like this to think about get involved in other ugly things. John was thinking about Jesus' mother. Son, here's your mother, mother, here's your son. Beautiful picture, right? Because Jesus is a grown man, and Jesus gave his mother to a man, right? That stood before him. Now, I told Pastor David, I think John filled the gap in Jesus' house because Jesus had his father, Jesus had a mother, right? And Jesus had a daughter. Who was the daughter? The woman with the issue of blood. Who was the son? This is the way the disciples really missed. Who was the son? We're going to get back to where Peter really missed out on his own. Who Who was the son? He said, son, here's your mother, mother, here's your son. So because John stepped in and took account and accountability for Jesus' mother, he got a place at Jesus' table as Jesus' family. So now Jesus has set up a nuclear family. Whether we realize or not, there's a nuclear family that has been set up. And who knows, when Jesus talked about those that would be seated next to him when he gets to heaven, right, and he ended not being decided by him, who knows if the decision was made that day. Who knows if a different decision would have been made had you changed your mind and crawled out from under the bed and went to go meet Jesus where he was at instead of crying about it. Who knows? This is why I don't pay attention to tricks. Silly rabbit, tricks are for kids. And I'm saying tricks like you think. It's not tricks like that. The ending of the word that I'm saying is trick, right? So I'm not want to say the whole word, right? So the ending of the word is trick, right? So I just said tricks, right? I don't get involved with the tricks. Silly rabbit, tricks is for kids. I'm not talking about any a whorish woman. I'm not talking about that. It's not like that. But tricks, we do tricks. We perform tricks, right? We play games, and we don't realize tricks come back to bite you every single time. Because it's always the enemy. It's always the enemy when we do it, right? The enemy told Peter to run. The thing is, I believe the enemy told Peter to go to go to Jesus where Jesus was being tried. I believe that. And Peter followed that information because of the fact that it sounded like a good idea. Most things that the enemy tells us, right? The enemy tells me to do, right? Most things that he tells us to do. Jamie's enemy is a loud man. I told y'all he sings a lot, right? But most things that he tells us to do is what we feel like we want to do, but we're nervous about doing. Pastor Tim talked about the enemy, right? So we know that the enemy, honestly, we know the enemy is obvious. It's the mind, will, and the emotions. That's a soulless realm, right? But if you don't, and Jesus is housed, right? He said, behold, I stand at the door and knock. So he's behind the door, right? Next to your spirit. And so he knocks on the door constantly. And what you have to do is answer the door, open the door up and say, Jesus, you have command over my soul. You have the command over my enemy, right? My enemy is my enemy. So you have command over my enemy to make that not be my enemy anymore. Take control of my mind, will, and emotions. And what I would do, God, you correct it. And what I would say, you say for me. What I would live through, you do it, God. I don't want anything to come out of me except to come from you. Hallelujah. And leave it at that. But Peter's enemy, he did not check. He did not. That's why he said you have to check your enemy. You have to check your enemy just like you check your enemy. Peter did not check them. He did not check his enemy, right? So what he did was, instead of going to go, he went to Jesus' trial. But this is why I said it was an evil thing that he did. Because instead of him, anybody that would go to Jesus' trial would have went inside to show support for Jesus. Went inside to say, I know the master. And he did not do this. But even if he didn't want to do that, even if he didn't want to do it because Jesus had to die, he went there to roast his fingertips over a fire and complain about people saying that he knew him when he kept saying, I do not know the man. So if you're going to go there to say that you don't know him, you're going there to deny him. You could have denied him from the bed at home, but you did it publicly. You shamed him. You added shame and guilt to his name. You added shame to him because where you knew him and where he blessed you and where he gave you keys to the kingdom and said he gave you access to his throne room, and he taught you, he walked with you when you walked on the water and you fell underneath it. He lifted you up. Oh God, he did that. He was there for you, and all you could do is come here and say, I deny you. It wasn't that he was forced to do it because Jesus prophesied that that was going to happen. It wasn't that he's forced to do it. Peter had a mind of his own. He could have changed it and said, no, I do know the man. He could have changed his mind, but Jesus knew. That's what she said, you're going to deny me. Jesus knew he was going to do it. Prophecy is not somebody forcing you to do something. Prophecy is a person knowing, because God revealed to them, that you are going to do that nasty thing. Because you're a little bit nasty. I'm saying, Peter was a little bit nasty. But can I call you a little bit nasty? Because you got up to go. He was the opposite of the woman with the issue of blood. The woman with the issue of blood sat there, and it says when she heard about Jesus, she said to herself, if I may but touch the hem of his garment. She already had her mind, will, and emotions in order. Peter heard about Jesus. knew he had been taken from the Gethsemane out because they ran from him when he was at Gethsemane. People heard about Jesus. Oh, he had a trial now? Okay, I'm going to show him that I'm not going to deny him. So with the woman with the issue of blood, she thought, if I may but touch. Peter thought to himself, if I may but what? Touch. If I may touch him, I'm going to show him that he was wrong. He wanted the value of the cross, but he didn't want the walk behind it. You know, a lot of us want that. Sorry guys, I mean the orange. We want the value. What comes with it? I want the fundamentals of it. What comes with it? But I don't want to do what you have to do to get it. I'm going to tell you this. Peter was supposed to meet Jesus on the way to the cross. I won't say that he was supposed to be at the cross. I don't know that. But I know that Peter was supposed to be on the way to the cross. Selah. Peter was supposed to be there because, God, I thank you. The solid rock was carrying the cross. After they beat him and they did everything to him, the solid rock was carrying the cross. Peter went to where he's supposed to be. But when we do what God tells us to do, or we do what we think we're supposed to do, but we do it prematurely, God can give us a premature word. But we need to receive our words in a mature fashion, right? So Peter is a patient. Or is he? This whole thing was an invitation, or it was a play between Christ and Peter, between the solid rock and the rock. Because the solid rock said, you are the rock, Cephas, right? And on this rock, I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it, right? And I will give you keys to the kingdom, access to my throne room, right? So he gave them to him, right? So you got Peter. Simon, listen. Let's just do that with Samantha. Oh, she got on my nerves. Samantha, shut up, Samantha. Shut up. You got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Shut up. I love my sister. Sometimes. So anyway, I haven't spoken to her in 3 years. God said no. So, I know it sounds crazy, y'all, but pray for me. But yeah, sometimes your family is poisoned because they become familiar with you. And even my little sister told me, she said, Jamie, I know that people call you a minister here at this church. They call you a minister, but I can't see you that way. I don't see you that way. And so it became a little poisonous. But anyway, that matters. Because how are you seeing? How are you seeing your brother? How are you seeing when you see him on the cross? How are you seeing your brother? At one point, right, John was the little brother that leaned up against Jesus, right? They would lean on their side to eat, on their left side, I think it was. They would lean on their left side and lean on their left elbow to eat, and John would lay his head back on Jesus. I'm a little jealous. Just saying. When I see people I care about, right, and I'm like, I want to talk to him too. Miss Carol be like, yeah, but Pastor David came out and saw the car. He looked at Tony's car. I was like, but I got homework. And sometimes he yell at me a little bit. I get competitive. I get jealous. But I get jelly. But anyway,